Hey guys, welcome back to Mo Money Budgets. I'm Mo, and today we are going to budget my October 31st paycheck. Today is Thursday, October 30th, so happy All Hallows Eve. And I've mentioned previously that I can see my paycheck pending the Wednesday before the payday, which is on Fridays. I don't have access to it, but I can see it pending. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over my budget and discuss the next 2 weeks. I get paid bi-weekly for those of you that haven't seen my previous videos. And I am kind of a zero-based budgeter. I don't always end up in zero at every pay period. Sometimes I'm looking ahead to the future, and so eventually it does get to zero. Sometimes I have to carry over a balance because of upcoming costs. So we're going to do that. I am actually on time this pay period. Last time I was late getting this uploaded because I just had a lot going on. I actually took this week off of work just as a staycation. I had some PTO that I had to utilize. My mother-in-law has the baby today, and so we're getting some things done. We have a little visitor. This is Sam. And he's got a rough life. He's tired. So let's go ahead and get started. The audio is better this time, hopefully. My husband did fix that for me, so that's good. So I want to discuss kind of some costs that kind of made me, I'll quote, go into the negative. Not truly, because I put almost every expense on my credit card to get the added points. So this isn't actually going to go, this isn't actually going to have my account go into the negative, because essentially the credit card payment will post the day that I get paid. So it'll all wash out in the end. A couple things. I did forget that we were going to have our heat pump serviced. We get that service once a year, just to keep up with that. And so we're on a yearly payment schedule. They come out to service the heat pump twice a year. It's $285 for the year. I just kind of forgot about it. So I did transfer $300 from my savings account, which is just for like home expenses. And then we had the heat pump maintenance, which was $285, and that covers the whole year. So they'll come out one more time. They also do a plumbing inspection, which is included. So we just pay the $285 as long as they're just doing like preventative maintenance. Everything is essentially covered in that cost. It's just if they find something that has to be replaced, that it would be extra. So that brings my balance to $77.77. This was on the 27th. And then we did get dog food for one of my dogs shipped. That was $58.57, which brings our balance to $19.20. I did end up taking my mom to lunch. We live a few hours apart, so we met in the middle. So gas for my car to get there, and then I paid for her lunch. So that was $62.20. And then my husband and I did go out today. And so that was $77.16, bringing the balance that I will have tomorrow to negative $120.16 technically. Now, again, these items haven't even posted to my credit card yet, so I cannot even pay them yet because they just happened. So once they do, I'll pay them off. It'll be after the 31st, so it won't technically bring me into the negative. I'm just kind of like giving you the mental math to bring us to payday, which is tomorrow. I have some coffee here. Bones Coffee Company, if you've never heard of them. Handmade ceramic mugs. So nice. Heavy duty. They're great. All right. So tomorrow, my paycheck will be deposited to my account. The total is $2,045.20, bringing our balance to $1,925.04. October was one of those months that I technically got paid 3 times in a month. I budget my life off of if I were to receive 2 paychecks in a month, and so I split my mortgage payment up into 2 halves. My mortgage has already been paid for November because I've had 2 previous paychecks in the month of October. Hopefully that makes sense. So this month, there's a little bit of wiggle room, which is good because I've had some costs that I didn't foresee. I've mentioned before that my dog, this one right here, had a gnarly ear infection, which has at this point cost me $600 in vet fees and medication. Yeah, so that has come up, and there's a few other things we'll discuss. I've also mentioned before that because I was on maternity leave and our child is 5 months old now, that my benefits have been doubled for my paychecks because they were not being paid during my absence since I wasn't receiving pay. So my paycheck is like $285 or $300 less than it would normally be because my benefits are being doubled. I believe, hopefully, that this was the last check that will occur on, but there may be one more. I'll have to verify that. So I haven't really been able to save money like I normally do. Moving forward, you'll kind of see all of that balance out. And we'll start saving money again. Another thing I wanted to mention is that we are a one-income household. My husband has chosen for our family to stay at home for the first year of our child's life to take care of him. We didn't really want to put him in daycare yet. I wasn't ready for that. And so it came down to a financial decision. Whoever made more money was going to continue to work for the first year. We're still ironing out if he wants to go back to work after our baby turns 1. We kind of teeter back and forth. So to be determined, but we're doing okay with one income. We've kind of planned accordingly. All right, so that brings us to our balance. Like I mentioned, $1,925.04. Okay, I got to take old Sambo back to the vet tomorrow. So this should be the third and hopefully final visit just to make sure that all of the infection is out of his inner ear. So I'm guesstimating that's going to be about $150, although could be a little more, just based off of how much it was last time. And I'm hoping that they won't have to medicate his ear this time if it's all gone. So I'm hoping that will be less. So this is kind of flexible, but we're going to guesstimate $150, which will bring our total to $1,775.04. I'm also going to move $150 back into my savings account, probably into, I have a savings account for home, I have a savings account for medical bills, emergencies, that type of thing. I did take this $300 out of our home savings account, so I'll probably end up putting that back. So $150, which will bring our total to $1,625.04. I do anticipate needing to buy formula this week, so that will be $45.44, because we do still have some left over, so I don't think I'll need to purchase as much for this week, but we'll see. Bringing our total to $1,579.60. I am going to start putting money toward our Christmas fund, just because it makes it easier around that time of year. My husband also, like I said, we're a one income household now. In previous years we weren't. And so before, we would kind of combine our funds to purchase gifts for his family and mine. This year, because we're just a one income household, I just want to make sure that it doesn't put that added stress come Christmas. I'm also not a huge proponent of spending like a ton of money on Christmas. I truly believe, this is not to say, I mean, I appreciate all religions and the hope that it gives people. I'm a Christian, and so I believe that Christmas is to be celebrated for the birth of Jesus, and also just for family physical presence, and not like tangible gifts, if that makes sense. So I'm not too worried about spending a ton of money on Christmas, but I would like to purchase a few things for my husband and our child and our closest family members. So yeah, I'm going to start saving for that. So that's $180, bringing our balance to $1,399.60. I've mentioned before that the food and gas budget is kind of like very specific. Really what it comes down to is how much margin I have in my budget. And so whatever's left over kind of gets added or subtracted from my food and gas budget. Also because my husband is at home now and really drives very minimally, and I don't have to drive very much for work. This can be less because of the fact that we don't have a huge gas overhead. So $118.47, bringing our budget to $1,281.13. I've mentioned before that I have a massage membership. The subscription fee has already come out of my account, but I am going to get a massage on the 1st. So I plan on tipping her. So that brings our balance to $1,271.31. Also, I apologize if you can hear my husband screaming. Like I said, my child is with my mother-in-law today, so he's getting a chance to game uninterrupted. So he's doing that with his friends. All right, so on the 7th, I go to the grocery store pretty much every week. So again, food and gas budget here, $118.48, bringing our running balance to $1,152.65. Energy bill, which is our electric, $203.13. I understand that this might seem like a lot, and it is. However, I also pay for like water line coverage. So I don't know if you know this, but if you don't have a septic tank or a well, you are responsible for your water line from where it connects to the street to your home. So the county or whatever county or city, depending on, where you're living, will service your actual meter or anything that connects from your meter, like main water lines. They'll service all of those if something happens. But in most cities and counties, you are responsible for your water line from where it comes off of the meter into your home. So based off of the age of our house and everything, if I were to need to replace that, it would be somewhere between like $10,000 to $15,000. And so I do pay for coverage for that. Comes out of our energy bill. So that's like an extra $7 a month. And then I also pay for the sewer line, same thing there. And then I also pay for an electric coverage. So like if anything happened majorly with our electric in our home because it is older, that would be covered as well. So some of these things are like subscription based insurances. Speaking of that massage membership that I was talking about earlier, the fee comes out of my account on the 8th. That's $79.95, bringing our total to $859.57. I do pay for dog insurance for one of my dogs now. I used to be both, but old Sambo here is going to be 13, so the insurance is very expensive for him. Just not really sure if it's worth it at this point in time. But our younger dog is significantly cheaper, so that is $46.12 a month, bringing our total to $813.45. The hospital bill for the delivery of our child comes out on the 8th of the month. I've mentioned before that I didn't pay off the balance because the hospital I went to offers a discount at the end of the year to make their financial statements up to date. And so they'll usually offer anywhere between 20 and 30% off of your balance if you pay it in full, which is what I'm going to do in December. So when they offer that, I will pay it off in full. So until then, I'm just on a payment plan. They do not charge me interest on the bill. They're a public institution. So as long as you're not in collections, there is no interest or added fee for the payment for being on a payment plan. So this brings our balance to $633.45. I do have a Prime membership, which comes out on the 11th. That's $14.99. I'm going to be really honest. I'm contemplating doing away with this. I have not purchased that many things on Amazon anymore. I've become a huge Facebook Marketplace person since my husband's not working right now. It's just cheaper to buy things secondhand. Thrift stores, buy nothing groups, Facebook Marketplace. So that I might do away with. I haven't fully decided. Yeah. Bringing our balance to $618.46. I've mentioned before that our younger dog we do send to doggy daycare about once or twice a week. We get 10 days for $200. We still have 3 days left on his current package because we haven't been taking him as much now that my husband's home all the time. Just to save some costs. So he's going a lot less, but we still take him as a little treat sometimes. He has a lot higher of an energy level than my older boy. So that's $200. That brings our balance to $418.46. Food and gas for the 14th, $126.79, bringing our balance to $291.67. Our car insurance, which is bundled with like an umbrella insurance, $266.67. I've mentioned before this might seem expensive. We do, however, have 3 vehicles, a car trailer, and a boat. So it covers all of that. Bringing our balance to $25. And then I have a friend whose birthday is coming up that I want to buy her a little gift. So I've accounted $25 for that, bringing our balance to $0, which is also the next time I get paid. This is just an estimation, maybe more or less than this. I'm not 100% sure. I do have some overtime expected on this check. If I still have to pay double for my benefits for one more pay period, this is going to be probably pretty close, $2,246. If I only have to pay my normal amount for benefits, if this last pay period was the last one, then I kind of expect that to jump up to about $2,550. So it should increase by about $300-ish if not. But for now, the next 2 weeks will bring us to a 0 balance. Everything's accounted for. A couple moving parts here. Obviously, the dog, not sure if his vet bill will be more or less than $150. It really just depends on if his ear infection is fully clear, if they have to flush and treat his ear again with antibiotics. Also might be some upcoming costs because we have to take our truck in for service. So that may be added. So this Christmas fund might end up going towards the truck. Things can kind of ebb and flow. But for now, this is kind of where we're at. I'm happy that it was a 3 pay period month because it gives us a little more wiggle room as far as the vet, being able to hopefully put some money back into savings, the Christmas fund, and then also potentially being able to purchase dog daycare for my younger dog. All of these things can kind of get moved if we have to. So if we need to pay more for the vet or pay more for the truck, we can do that. This is not set in stone, but this is kind of what I plan to do with the funds. I do hope to make another video about creating a grocery budget for this upcoming week, what I plan to make for meals, what I'm going to hope to spend, and then what I end up spending. So keep a lookout for that. This is going to go live on actual Halloween, so I hope you and all of your family and your kids have a great Halloween. One of my favorite things is just watching little trick-or-treaters come by with their little outfits, and I really like the creative ones or the homemade ones. Those are my favorite. Yeah, so happy All Hallows Eve, happy Halloween, And if you guys have any questions or ideas for upcoming videos, I'd be happy to oblige. Until next time, I will see you guys later. All right, bye.